Well, good morning, everyone. It's another Monday, a fantastic, I guess, rainy, not so beautiful morning in Orlando, but we do need the rain, so I'm happy to see it. It is April 19th, 9:02 a.m., so really glad that you guys made time this morning to join me for the call. Got some resources I wanted to share with you this morning and just some quick updates, of course. So as we start every Monday morning, let's start with training. As I say, you always have to have one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. A little light on training this week, but that's okay because I think everyone needs kind of like a little mental break, but we still need to keep learning, so just keep that in mind. At 11 o'clock today, Devoted is doing their broker coffee and chat session. This is geared up for the Orlando market. However, anyone that is selling Devoted or is interested in learning more about Devoted Health, please join us at 11 o'clock today. The link is in the training calendar. Everyone should have a link to the training calendar. If you don't, please call us so we can get that hooked up on your laptop, phone, iPad, or whatever you're using to check on your training sessions. I will tell you that Devoted is really putting their money where their mouth is when it comes to marketing. So getting entrenched with the Devoted folks is a really good idea, especially with the managers, because they have lots of marketing opportunities that are popping up, and even some opportunities that you may find. We're going to talk about that today and how they can get behind you to support those events and the marketing there. So keep that in mind. So again, today at 11, make sure you're sharp on the plan, and we're going to talk about an update on Devoted a little later today. Tomorrow, Tuesday the 20th, Devoted is doing an open training session. So again, come learn about the product in detail. That's at 11 o'clock tomorrow, April 20th. Again, the registration link is in the training calendar. But also at the same time at 11, if you're already hooked up with Devoted, if you're a new agent with WellCare or you need a refresher, meaning that you haven't sold WellCare in a while, they are doing a refresher training at 11 o'clock at the same time tomorrow on April 20th. So, you know, you're going to have to choose which one you need most at that point. But there's always going to be more and more trainings as we go forward. Also at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, tomorrow, the 20th, 2 o'clock, WellCare is doing that same training in Spanish, in Espanol. So if you prefer to learn the material, learn about WellCare in Spanish, you can do that at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Moving on to Wednesday, the 21st, at 11 a.m., you've got Humana doing their training, Building Your Brand and Facebook Best Practices. So again, we've talked about this, you know, Facebook being one of the premier ways to promote yourself online. If you haven't done any Facebook training, or maybe you're dabbling in it a little bit, probably a good idea to jump on this training. Humana does have a really great course on what you need to know and learn about Facebook, but also they have materials, ads, and things like that that you can use in their Marketing Resource Center. We're going to dive back into that this morning as well to kind of show you what other things you have specifically in the digital realm that you can use for marketing. But that training specifically is for Facebook and also how to build your brand. 11 o'clock on Wednesday. So join that if you are interested in growing your online business. Again, same time there, Marketing Resource Center. They're doing another training, Humana, side by side at 11 as well. This one's going to be talking about how to do direct mail from the Marketing Resource Center and how to do your Facebook postings. So you'll have to choose which one you're going to want to do on Wednesday. But again, it's up to you. I'm just glad to see that you guys are doing trainings. On Thursday this week at 9 o'clock, we've got Humana doing their individual dental and vision training. So don't leave money on the table. We're finding that quite a few seniors and individuals are asking for dental plans, asking for that vision benefit. Even though a lot of these Medicare Advantage plans, maybe even some of the ACA plans have dental included, it's not always comprehensive, and it does have some gaps in it. But also think about your relationship with your clients. We've learned that your clients are stickier to you when you have 2 or more products with them. So they think twice about changing their Medicare plan if they also have a dental plan with you. So me personally, I've had quite a few of my clients call me back and say, hey, this dental's okay, but it doesn't really do this, this, or this. I need something that does those things. And, a supplemental dental plan really helped out. Or somebody that has, severe vision conditions that may need a little bit more TLC than what the Medicare Advantage plan can give them. These products are available for you and your clients. They're very easy to do. Everything's online. And, of course, you get paid commission to do so. So learn about those products because it could really help supplement your business. And if you think about it, you might have somebody come in and just need a dental plan, and then you can upsell them to a full medical plan. So we call that upselling. Or if you already have a book of business and you want to call your folks and offer the dental plan or vision plan, and you're already on a full major medical plan, then we call it downselling, right? So you have upselling and then downselling, and then those are both ways to make money and increase your revenue, but most importantly, create stickiness for your clients and really serve them by giving them the insurance that they truly need in order to get these things done. So just a little strategy hint there for you. So if you want to learn more about that, 9 o'clock on Thursday the 22nd, great training for you there. And then last training for the week on Thursday is at Devoted Coffee and Chat. That's at 11:30 on Thursday again. This one's geared for the Jacksonville market, but all are welcome. If you are interested in selling Devoted or you're already selling Devoted and just have a couple of questions, you want to jump on there and ask some of the managers, you are more than welcome to do so. So that's it for the training for the week. Just remember to keep that training going because, things are going to start speeding up here once AHIP gets in the way and you guys are going to have to do your recertification. So just keep that in mind as we go through this. Just a quick reminder also, some of us are going to be out on Thursday evening on Friday because this week is actually our getaway for the top agents for AEP. So congratulations to those folks that made the list that are joining us at Fort Wilderness this week on Disney property. We're really excited. It's the best COVID compliant event that we could come up with, camping at a distance together. And we'll be going to the parks on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. God hoping that the weather holds up, of course. But everything is looking good, and we're really proud of those folks that are going to join us this week. So congratulations to those that are coming with us to Disney. We're really, really proud of your success, and we want to continue going forward on that. So let's jump into a couple of updates here. So first off is we do have a running contest for this month. Any Freedom applications that are turned in, and this is global, any Freedom applications that are turned in, we have a $25 gas card available to you for reimbursement, marketing reimbursement, as you're out there pounding the pavement for your events. So any app that you turn in, remember you do have to report the application. This contest is for 5/1 effectives for Freedom Healthcare. Just a little spiff to help you out with gas money. I know gas is kind of creeping back up there as well. So just remember you do have to report those sales for any Freedom application. So speaking of cards, Devoted Healthcare actually announced a couple of weeks ago about their food card, their healthy food card, which is a benefit for the DSNP members where they get a $50 card to go out and purchase groceries, or they can have them delivered. And those cards were actually sent out last week on the 12th. So it's about 7 days now. It's been about a week since those cards have been launched. So just a quick update, if you do have Devoted members that are on the DSNP plan, it's probably a really good idea to give them a call and let them know, hey, your card went out. I just want to make sure that you got it. And if they didn't get it, maybe give them a little buffer. Say, let's wait till Friday. If you don't get it, we'll call Devoted together and see what's up with the mail. If they did get it, please make sure you understand how that card works in case they have any questions for you. And again, there's going to be a training today at 11. So if you want to know how that really works, jump on that training today at 11. But that Devoted card, they can access their grocery benefits, and this has been a really big sale. Now, remember, you can talk about this particular benefit only after they've been enrolled and devoted. So that's why I'm saying you're going to want to call your current members and remind them of this card. Now, this is going to do two things. Number one, it's going to create that trust value for your client and reminding them of the benefits that they have. And then secondly, obviously, our number one lead source is client referrals, and so that will obviously, hopefully, kick up some referrals, especially if you ask for them. Please remember to ask for referrals. I know sometimes we get caught up in the everyday life, but I'm hearing some of you on the phones while you're talking to your clients. You guys hang up, and I'm kind of like, well, where was the ask? You know, hey, oh, by the way, if you know, just a reminder, if you know anybody that needs my help, please have them call me. It's as simple as that. And so you know, you doing a service for them, you letting them know that these benefits are now available is going to be a really big key to your success now and through lock-in. And I was lucky enough to be in a board meeting last week, and one of the things that both the provider group and the health plan were talking about is they did a survey, a case study where you know, they were behind glass, and they were talking about, you know, why did you switch your health plan? And they added benefits. They said, well, I needed to change because, you know, I needed these extra benefits, which case in point, they already had the benefits. They didn't know they had the benefits, or they forgot that they had the benefits on their current plan. So now that it's a little bit slower in the year, this is a really great opportunity for you, the agent, to call back, talk to your members, and just remind them of their benefits, the highlights of their plans, especially on that dental, the transportation, this healthy foods card that these carriers are now rolling out to help those seniors in need. You know, really, really great benefits. And so, you know, don't let your members switch because they forgot about the benefits they already had, or they didn't know, or it just, you know, you just need that reminder and that relationship building aspect of it, which I think is really, really important. So, you know, but, you know, clients are one part of the equation. The other part of the equation is doing marketing, okay? Now, I've got a couple of cool tricks I wanted to show you guys this morning. The first, which we were talking about in the training session with Humana, is they're doing a lot of online training for you to learn and grow your digital marketing campaigns. And what's great about Humana is they built all these wonderful tools and resources online through their Marketing Resource Center, or what we call the MRC. And I think it's obviously bleeding edge between them and a couple of the other carriers. But I want to show you one of the cool things that they've got as far as emails. Because as you may know, or if you forgot, you can now email seniors to a cold email list, okay? Meaning that you do not need permission to email these folks. You can do an email blast to people that are turning 65 or moved to the area or whatever the case might be. You can do that now if you have an email list. We're going to come back to the email list, but I want to show you how this works. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, if you want to send an email out, this system does everything for you. So you don't even need an email software system, which was half the battle before. So you're going to sign in. Hopefully everyone knows their sign in at Humana. And then once you sign in, it's going to take you, it's going to ask you that pop-up question, of course, if you're going to either the commercial side or the retail side. We're on the retail side. You're going to click that. And then you're going to scroll down to the Marketing Resource Center, which is right here. Go ahead and click Marketing Resource Center. It's going to pop up a new window. Sometimes it takes a while because the software itself is pretty heavy. And the idea behind this is it's going to give you a little bit more of an edge against, you know, competition out there. And, you know, there's not one way to make 100 sales, but there's 100 ways to make one. And email is just one of those ways that you could make some additional sales. So looking at the email outreach, it's right up top. It's the first header that comes up. So you want to click that. And then as you go through it, you've got all different types. It's got about 15 different templates that you can use. So you've got SEP retirement ones, you've got turning 65, you've got a refer a friend campaign. So this might be a really great one if you already currently have an email list on your clients and you want to push a refer a friend campaign. This is great. If you want to do an educational workshop, and invite people to an educational workshop, you can send out an email. DSNP information, which is fantastic as well. And then they've got their veteran programs on here too. So let's say, for instance, you've got an email list. Scroll down here, and let's say this one's for the duals. So looking at Medicare, Medicaid, we open up this right here, and scrolling down. Whoop, that doesn't look like the email that we were looking for. So let's go back here. Scrolling back here, let's find a turning 65. Let's see if this works here. All right. So you're going to find the email. You'll scroll down, and this is the ad itself. And you'll scroll down, and it's got different formats. So you've got your flyers, your brochures, but here's the email. So this is what you want to select. So you've got your email. Then you scroll down to the bottom and click place order. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull up the template for the email for that particular campaign. And just like before, you can see it on the left-hand side what it's kind of designed to do. So if you've got a list of people that are turning 65 emails, for instance, what you can do, the first thing is you can pick the picture. You can change this picture. They've got preloaded pictures. So if you wanted to change a picture to somebody else, you can go ahead and select it, and it'll change that picture for you. Location, let's say Orlando. Call to action. What do you want them to do? Is this a virtual meeting, or is it just, call me? Let's do that. That's pretty easy. We're on the external side. You can go ahead and put your logo there. Let's say you don't have a logo, you don't want to use it. And then you can also use your photo. Now, as I've said before, it's always best to use a photo if you can of yourself. Sometimes on these things they don't have a space for it. So just make sure that you do that. Right here it's showing no assets available. Before you get to this point, before you go into this, you're going to want to go into your account and upload those photos of yourself, so that way you know how to upload it, and it should show up here. I just didn't do that this morning. So of course your name, your phone number, and you've got hours of operation, your email address, your website, and then maybe some extra stuff here if you wanted to include that. You can do that, and it's got some drop downs as well. If you're doing an event, you can do that as well. We're not doing an event on this email. So if you click next step, it's going to ask you to verify the info on the email. So what you want to do is you want to scroll back up and click the image itself, and all that information that we filled out in the form is now pre-populated. So you've got, are you turning 65? What are my Medicare options in Orlando? So remember, that was the placeholder there, so I can change the information. So it could get really specific. So let's say you're looking for Bradenton, Florida. You can go as granular as Bradenton if you wanted to, or do zip codes or whatever you think would work best. So there you can see it doesn't have my photo because I didn't have a chance to upload it, so no worries. But it did put like a little phone thing there, which is kind of nice. It's got my name and my phone number, hours of operation, and then contact information, and then all of the Humana jargon underneath. So you do have to approve that to move forward. So let's say we like it, we click done, then we scroll down to the bottom and click next steps. And here's where things get a little sticky. Now the first thing is you can use an existing list. Humana does have a list. They have a vendor that they use to do marketing. However, our experience with their list services hasn't been very good. So I haven't tested it with the emails per se, but just as a warning, if you decide to use their list, it may not be up to par, so just keep that in mind. It is recommended to have an email list. So if you have an email list, depending on your campaign, let's say you're doing a refer a friend campaign for your current clients, obviously you're going to want to send that to your client list. You're going to have your own list. This is where you upload that list. You're going to click Upload List. You'll choose that file, and it'll be uploaded for you, and it'll align the fields for them. So, for instance, you've got Justin and then my email address. Those are two different fields, and then it cuts it up and makes sure it goes in the right place in the email as well. You can manually type in each and every recipient if you wanted to. I mean, if you only had 4 or 5, it might make sense, but like, you know, a couple hundred, you might go crazy doing that. Or you can test it, which I did myself. I tested it this morning. You can add yourself, and then, you know, it's got your information pre-populated. If you're doing other campaigns where you need an email list, please reach out to us. We're glad to kind of guide you and see what we can do to captivate a list of email addresses for seniors. We are still experimenting with this, so just be patient with us as we work through it. But we may have some resources and some vendors where we can get some email lists if you're interested in doing this type of campaign on the emails. We go ahead and so just for the sake of a demonstration, let's say we're just sending it to ourselves. We hit save. So if you can imagine, you can see every single recipient would be loaded into this area right here. You can see them all the way down. This is just an example because I'm sending it to myself, for instance. And then we hit next step. And you can see that this is an email. It's going to come from my email address. And where do participants reply to? If it's coming back to the same email address, that's great. I know some of you have different email addresses that you might want to use. You can do that too. I'm using mine to reply directly back to. And then the subject line. So this is something that you can change. So are you turning 65? Or you can do something like, do you have Medicare questions? So you can change your subject line depending on what you're looking to do. Get creative with it. Once you have what you need, you're going to go ahead and click Next. And the best part about this whole thing is it's free. There's no cost to doing this email campaign, and Humana has a service to get it done. So once you click Checkout, it's going to do a payment section. Obviously, everything's 0. You're going to hit Submit Order, and you're good to go. So it says Order Placed, and so you're going to have an email be sent out from Humana's Resource Center to the list that you have picked. So, you know, this is another way that you can get marketing out there. A quick way to do email addresses. I know many of you have been asking me about, you know, how do I do email marketing, and this is just one of those ways that we can get that done. So take that into consideration. Again, Humana is doing quite a few trainings on their marketing resource centers. As a reminder, check the training calendar. They're doing this every week, and I'm sure they're going to be doing it all the way up until AEP. So make sure you check that training calendar and get back to that. For more information, if you need help with that, just let us know. We're glad to assist you on that. So that's one way that I wanted to talk about marketing this morning. The last way, and where we're really seeing results, and at the end of the day, guys, results matter because you need to have traffic, you need to have leads, you need to have appointments, and that's how you get your sales. Okay, that's how you get your clients. What I'm hearing from each and every one of you that are bringing in sales is events, events, events. Over the weekend, I got a few text messages. I also saw some activity. Shout out to Tina Richardson on WhatsApp. She posted her event. She was out in Apopka, and she had already set up. I think she texted everybody about 9:30 on Saturday, and she already had leads. So I mean, these are things that you can see and do. And thank you, Tina, for sharing that with the team. I think you did an amazing job. It's exactly what you need to be doing day in and day out as far as activity to cultivate those leads. But you know, some of you are you know, kind of lost in that. Where do I go? What do I do? And the first thing that I'll say is where I'm seeing a lot of success with events is at the doctor's offices. So working with your physicians, if you have physicians to work with, tailoring your events with your doctor seems to be working best. I have seen, I've seen some great success. I know Nick has been working on quite a few things with the physician's offices, but don't wait for us. If you have relationships with your doctors and you want to start events, go ahead and go for it. But let's say that you don't have a doctor to work with and you just want to, get started. You can always turn to my best friend, Google. Okay, this is my best friend. He's got all the answers in the world. So very quickly, all I did is I'm going to type in events near me, and you can pull up all sorts of stuff that's going on in your area. I'm in Altamont Springs, so you can see, all the different things that are going on in Altamont Springs. But let's say we want to get maybe a little bit more specific. Let's say we're looking for senior events. Okay. So this is, here's one thing. They've got events for seniors. You can click that. Eventbrite, also great. It's also pulling up senior centers. They have a lot of activities that are going on at those senior centers. You can host your own activities at those senior centers. And again, all these great things that you can do. I would also check out your news as well. So let's say News 6 events. If you have a news channel near you, this is their community calendar, so you can click on their community calendar and hopefully it'll pull up here. There we go. So you can go through their community calendar and see what's out there. So, there's a stained glass workshop. I mean, think outside of the box too. You've got walks, bowling leagues. These are all things that you can get great ideas from. Fitness classes, and these are things that you could sponsor. Here's a jazz, I think it's a jazz festival or jazz thing going on there. So, don't be afraid to jump into Google and find events near you. And it's not always about senior events specifically. What I will also say, one of the most successful events that I've ever seen was a barbecue festival, and they're always going on. It seems like. So you've got all these. Here's one that's coming up, in October. It's a barbecue and blues festival. It's right in open enrollment. So, this is a great opportunity to go and get, set up for open enrollment for your events. But, you've got the contact information here, where it's going to be. You start making phone calls and you can start seeing those events. One thing I will say also is, maybe barbecue is not your thing. Maybe you have a hobby of some sort. So, if you, like me, I like to scuba dive. I like to be on the water. Well, guess what? There are senior groups that do these exact same activities. So pick a hobby that you really like, whether it's painting or bike riding or scuba diving or whatever it is. I can guarantee you that hooking in your hobbies with your work choice, it's going to be the most rewarding for you and your success out there in the community. And tying in your hobbies, just obviously it's not going to feel like work anymore, because you're out there doing the things that you love doing, and you're side by side and rubbing elbows with seniors, and then maybe even doing some classes with those seniors and letting them know, hey, by the way, I'm going to do an educational seminar, in a couple of days. If you're interested in joining me on that, I'd be glad to help you about Medicare. So that's one thing to think about. But think outside of the box. It's not always health-related activities. Sometimes some of the best events are places like a barbecue. And I can guarantee you, if they let you set up a tent, you will be the only agent in that entire event, meaning that you're going to get all of the health insurance questions asked. So think about that. One ask that I'd love to see from you guys is pictures of your events, or if you know that you're going to be at an event at a certain day and time, we can help promote it on our websites, our social media campaigns, on Facebook, on Instagram. If you let us know ahead of time that, hey, I have an event coming up next week, I really would love some help promoting this event, please let us know ahead of time. Let Casey know or Sergio know, and we can promote that on our social media, and happy to do that. But even if you're at your event or after the event, if you've got some great pictures and videos, we can always use that to help promote you as the agent that was out there doing that. and posting that for activity, because activity is going to win at the end of the game, at the end of the day here, as we move through the rest of the year into AEP. So remember, guys, activity, activity, activity. That's what it's all about here. So with that, that brings me to the end of our call. What I'd like to do is, if you have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. If you have questions, go ahead and ask them now. I'm going to go ahead and...
No, I said 12. And I'm going by my that facility to see if I can find it. Yeah.
Okay, any questions this morning? Hi, Gail, you might be on mute.
Hey, Justin, this is Nick. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Nick.
Hey, we also, it's not really a training, but it's a great opportunity today at Centerwell, former FPG,
Okay.
at 1 o'clock in Orlando, less than a mile away from our office.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a meeting there, and they're going to actually assign some offices to agents, and they have plenty of offices. We have about 8 people showing up right now. Some of you on the phone already are showing up there, and appreciate that. But another great opportunity. Something else I was thinking about and hearing you speak too, car shows. Car shows are always going on in the upcoming months, and that's another great place to catch the seniors at. And I don't know if anybody's ever tried to talk to storage units that are everywhere, at least drop some cards. I mean, because that's a lot of our new movers, right, that are moving in. A lot of times they have to get a storage unit while they get their apartment or house ready. So just a couple other ideas.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. That's actually really, really quite brilliant. So storage units, maybe even at the front desk, leaving flyers or postcards or business cards there. And just don't leave them there, guys. I mean, anywhere where you go where you drop your materials, you should be talking to the front desk and saying, hey, I'm Justin. I'm with Health Plan Markets, and just want to let you know that I help people with health insurance. So if you have anyone that just moved to the area, one of the first things they've got to do within the first 60 days is choose a new health plan, and I'm the guy. I can help them out. So let them know, and then leave the flyers here, because somebody's going to say something out loud, and the manager's going to say, you know what, there was a guy here a couple days ago. He left a flyer. You might want to call him. Great idea. That's a fantastic idea. Car shows, absolutely. The last couple of car shows that I've been at, I was definitely the youngest person there. And probably, and there were cars older than me there too, but beautiful. And again, if that's your hobby too, if you love cars, if you love to go to car shows, I mean, tying in your hobby with what you do, fantastic. Some of these events may cost money for setup, to set up the tent, and things like that. So just be sure that if you're going into these areas, you're probably going to need a little bit of lead time. You're going to need materials. So if the event's tomorrow, it's going to be really hard for us to get you in there. So you want to be looking at least 45 days in the future. Right now, as a general rule, by the 15th, you should be working for the next month over. So April 15th, right now, you should be working on your month of June right now. And then throughout May, up until May 15th, at May 15th, you close June. And then on May 16th, you should be working for your July event. And you want to get into that habit so you're not rushing around and trying to fill your pipeline with activity. Plus, a lot of these events are, months and weeks out. So they are looking for vendors. And sometimes they get filled up with vendors, especially now that, things are starting to go back to normal a little bit slowly. Look out there and get hooked up initially. And so, Nick, thank you for the feedback. I think that's great. And then again, team that's in Orlando, if you want to get in with some doctors' offices, get with Nick. We can definitely help you out with that.
Yeah, I have new mover campaigns too that are new to Medicare campaigns that WellMed is asking to sponsor too. So if you have anybody on here wants to do some of those, I know some of you are already and taking advantage of that. They'll set up, pay for the event, do everything. Just they just need somebody to come and speak. So
outstanding, outstanding. And, you know, I'm going to be sending out this recording to the folks that couldn't make it this morning, so you may get some calls. So just as a reminder, call Nick. Everyone should have his phone number just in case. It's 304-549-4762, or you can do nstreet@askhpm.com. Please make sure that you connect with him, especially with the providers. Thank you, Nick. I really appreciate that feedback, because that's what we need. We need activity, and we need to get out there in front of those doctors in the community. Okay, guys, any other questions this morning? Fantastic. All right, well, I'll leave it there. I hope everyone has a fantastic week. Please let us know how we can help, and good luck out there. Thanks again.